Did you notice that all the stories of the mythological creatures Odysseus fought were told from his memory, not by witnesses or tales from other travelers of the sea? These were told by Odysseus himself from memory years after the Trojan War. And I think that changes everything. Because memory isn't a recording, it's an interpretation. Every time we remember something, we reconstruct it. We search for meaning, we fill in the gaps, we try to explain something that can't be explained only by words because there's feelings involved, and sometimes using just words can be limiting. So what if when Odysseus is explaining his journey, we aren't just hearing what actually happened? What if we're hearing a story that has become augmented and grand and scary because we're hearing a story of trauma? Think about it, he just fought a war. How can he explain to himself the people that he killed, the friends that he lost, and even the person that he became? Take Circe. She turned men into pigs, and she did so because she said that these men had been reduced to their instincts. They've been reduced to violence, to dominance, and to survival. But did she actually say that? Is Odysseus a reliable narrator? Or is this just a way that he found to describe the baggage, the guilt that he has been carrying? Maybe the monsters is just a way of him preserving his emotional truth, not necessarily what happened, but what it felt like. And while he said he wanted to go home, he didn't actually make the moves to go home until after he processed and dealt with his trauma. And I think that Odysseus' feelings can be applied to where we're at in the world today. A lot of the world is living through war right now, and the people affected directly and indirectly are going to have to carry this trauma and try to heal and live with it. But even the people that aren't literally living in war are actually living in warlike mentality. Because I can't be the only person out here who feels that we are constantly in conflict. Everything feels like an argument. Politics, social media, the economy, even the truth. I feel like we're always fighting over something, and I wonder what this will do to us as humans over time. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't fight, because human rights, democracy, dignity, and a lot more are all things worth fighting for. But I am worried about how much society wants us fighting. How every day we seem to learn new information just to cause controversy and fight amongst ourselves, and how people are actually enjoying rage baiting. Because if everything becomes a combat, does combat end up shaping who we are? Odysseus simply couldn't go home because the battlefield was still inside of him, and he needed to learn how to be a father again, a husband again, a human again. And I wonder if that's a question our culture will eventually have to ask too. After all these years of misinformation, conflict, hate, and even ignorance, how are we supposed to rebuild? How are we going back to trusting? How are we going to return home to a place of empathy and care, to a place of humanity?